Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, let's do a walk around and tour of this 2024 Ford F-350 King Ranch. This F-350 King Ranch does come with a couple of cool options, which includes a twin-panel moonroof, the fifth-wheel Gooseneck tow hitch, which we'll discuss when we go to the rear of the vehicle. It does have a King Ranch-specific interior, as well as a 6.7-liter high-output Power-Stroke diesel V8. With that being said, a huge thank you to Bob Thomas Pre-Owned, which is part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this truck today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's check this one out. Starting off here in the front, as you can see, you have a very nice and massive grille. And as you can tell, this one is going to signify that you have a higher trim level truck. Not per se the King Ranch. You can have like a Lariat, or you can have a Platinum, or you can have a Limited, and you'll get a high level grille here. Now, this one here to me looks very nice. It does have the aluminum finish on here. And of course, you do have your Ford emblem front and center. You also do have your chrome recovery hooks right here, which look pretty cool as well. You do have your LED daytime running lights, as you can see, which look absolutely impressive, as well as your LED projector headlights, as well as fog lights too. This truck also does come standard with front and rear parking sensors, and of course, a Ford staple. Your Super Duty logo is stamped right into the hood. Now, with that being said, this truck does come with a couple of different things here on the key, which includes as follows: your unlock, lock, remote start, your bed release, and your panic button. To remote start the truck, just simply make sure you have the vehicle locked and double click the remote start function, and it will turn right on. After waiting a few seconds, go ahead and double click it again, and it will shut right off. As you can see, we're taking a look at a set of Michelin tires on 17-inch wheels. These measure 245, 75 R17s all the way around. With that being said, this truck here, just like all Ford trucks, do come standard with a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the interior as well as exterior. As long as you have the key fob in your pocket, come up to the door handle. There's a touch sensor inside of it. Put your hand in, the vehicle will unlock, and the running boards will power down, allowing you to jump on into the vehicle. Or if you want to lock the vehicle up, just go ahead, tap this button right here. The vehicle will indicate locking, and the running boards will go back into its regular position. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Darkened Bronze, with the Java leather interior specific to the King Ranch. Starting off here on the door panel, as you can see, you do have some soft touch leather material up here, which was very nice, as well as down here where you're going to rest your elbow. You have brown stitching, as you can see, signifying that this is the King Ranch model. And not only you can see it up here, you can also see it down here as well. You do have a King Ranch insignia right here on the door. You're going to have an aluminum door handle. You're going to have 3-person memory seating, as well as your lock and unlock switches. This is going to be to extend or to fold in, or not fold in, but to extend in and out your tow mirrors. You're going to have controls for your windows, for your mirrors, as well as which one you're going to adjust down here. This is to actually make those power folding mirrors fold in and out. Child lock, as well as your power windows. Your 2 front windows are going to be fully automatic. Coming down below, you're going to have a good amount of room for storage. You're going to have some deep storage pockets, deep storage pocket here, as well as here, as well as a small little area where you can put some small items. And of course, you do have your Bang and Olufsen speaker right here on the door. Along with that smart key access system, this truck here does come standard with a push button ignition. As long as you have the key fob with you, whether it's in your pocket or from the vehicle itself, simply put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. Starting things off here, you do have a fully leather wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel, which looks absolutely incredible. You're going to have controls here on the left as well as on the right sides. And as you can tell, this being a King Ranch, you do have the King Ranch insignia down here as well as it's spelled out here, which is pretty cool. Now, first and foremost, you're going to have controls for your adaptive cruise, adaptive cruise control, for collision warning and all that stuff up here. Your audio controls for your volume right here, hands-free voice right here. To the right, you're going to have controls that deals with the main menu screen up there, your hands-free telephone, as well as your multimedia buttons here to fast forward or to see a track. Now, as you can see, coming up here to the main gauge cluster, as you can see, it's a fully digital gauge cluster, which looks really nice. And you have 2 main gauges followed by 4 smaller ones. To the left, you're going to have your tachometer. To the right, you're going to have your speedometer. And then coming up here to the very top, as you can see, you're going to have 4 smaller gauges, which include your coolant temperature, your oil level, your oil temperature, as well as your fuel range. As you can see, coming down below that, you're going to have your gear selector, what's playing on the radio, as well as your compass and your odometer reading, which, yes, that is not a mistake. That is actually correct. This vehicle has just 25 miles on the odometer. Now, with that being said, we're going to use these controls here to kind of see what's going on in the middle. And what we're looking at right now is going to be your tire pressure monitoring system, as you can see there for the front, as well as the dual tires in the back, since this is a dually. And as you can see, we're going to go ahead and go to where it says OK and kind of go through a couple of different things. So first thing we're going to see is going to be diesel gauges, configure my view, driver assistance, a calm view, trip 1, as well as trip 1 information, which includes average fuel economy, elapsed time, and your distance driven, your fuel economy average, and back to tire pressure. Or let's go, if you want to go to menu, it's going to bring up your main menu, which of course does show your my view, trip and fuel information, heads up display, gauges, off-road, towing, status/information, navigation, phone, audio, vehicle maintenance, and settings. Come over here to the right. As you can see, we're taking a look at a 12-inch productivity display here, which looks really, really impressive and overall looks really nice. Now, I've spent a lot of time in the F-150 before, so this should be no different than that. And with that being the case, we're going to go ahead and just go through a couple of different highlights here. So as you can see, we're taking a look at settings right now, and that's because you can see it's highlighted down here in the submenu. But starting off with settings, as you can see, you have radio settings, add phone, sync navigation, sound, vehicle, clock, personal profiles, general, display, seats, connectivity, vehicle hotspot, mobile apps, software updates, Ford Assistant, 911 Assist, as well as valet mode. So that's pretty cool. So if you click on any of these, you will be able to kind of go through different preferences. You can change different things. You can kind of make it your own just by going through one of these little menus here, which is pretty nice. Now, let's go ahead and let's turn the audio down for copyright purposes. Let's check out audio. As you can see, it's going to show what's playing on the radio. It's going to show your HD radio. You can have up to 3 different stations via HD radio. You can have your different sources, your direct tune, which if you click on that, it's going to allow you have to enter a password and all that in there in order to kind of adjust the different audio settings and stuff like that. And then you have sound down here. That's going to allow you to adjust your tone settings, balance and fade, speed, compensating volume, and sound mode, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, you have your preset stations down here as well, which is very nice. Come over to your phone. You can connect the phone to the vehicle via the Bluetooth system. Coming over to navigation. As you can see, you do get a full-fledged navigation system, which looks really nice and very impressive. As you can see, the pinch to zoom quality, the pinch to zoom is quite good. The quality is pretty good, and overall, it's nice. You're going to have all your different sub-menus here to the left, which is going to include the following. This is going to be for your menu here for your navigation, as you can see there. You have search, recents, and saved destinations, which is nice. You're going to have favorites, so you can add a favorite tile, and that would go right in here, which is pretty nice as well. Coming over to apps, you have Find Mobile Apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as well as Mobile Apps Help. Settings is where we started things off with. And then you have features such as driver assistance, running boards, Pro Power onboard, zone lighting, towing, onboard scales, smart hitch, owner's manual, as well as your record feedback, which is pretty cool to see. Now, with that said, like I mentioned, I've talked about these features before, and so it's just important to highlight the things that you'll be probably looking at every once in a while, or in most cases every single day. So if you want to check out a more kind of descriptive version of this screen here in a Super Duty, I just filmed recently a Super Duty F-250 King Ranch, so you can check that out if you want to see a little bit more information about the system a little bit more in depth. But with that said, this is a general take of the infotainment screen here in the Ford F-350 King Ranch. Now, as you can see, you have your driver temperature there, your passenger temperature there, current time, exterior temperature over there to the right, and on top of here, you're going to have a camera button, parking sensors you can turn on or off, hazard button, traction control, and hill descent control. This one I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it's there. But let's go ahead and let's just check out the camera real quick. It's going to show you a pretty nice backup camera, as you can see, and you do have a 360 camera of the vehicle, as you can tell. Looks very nice. You're going to have six other cameras that you can see. So you have a widescreen view. You're going to have a split screen view. You're going to have a view of the bed, as you can see there. You do have a full view of what you're towing behind the truck, which is nice. And then some more towing stuff in this area here. So pretty cool to see that. Now, with that being said, coming down here below, you're going to have your volume knob and tuning knobs. You're going to have your audio controls pretty much all through here. This is going to be for fast forward, and your playback stuff is going to be this lower level here. This is to put this screen off, and when you do that, it's just going to show the time and day. You can turn the screen off and push it again, and it will turn right back on. You do have dual zone climate control. You're going to have max airflow, rear airflow, fan positioning, auto air conditioning, recycling, AC, max air conditioning. You do have your ventilated and heated front and front passenger seating, a heated steering wheel, your fan speed, and that's pretty much it there. You do have your Pro Trailer Backup Assist, which is basically a way to help you back your truck into the trailer at a more accurate pace, which is very nice. You do have your trailer brake controller here, which kind of works together with that Pro Trailer Backup Assist. You have your different four-wheel drive modes here, which deal with four-wheel drive, followed by your different drive modes, which when we push that, it's going to show us here. You're going to have normal. You're going to have tow/haul. You're going to have eco. Slippery. Off-road. And that's it right there. To the right of that, of course, you're going to have a 12-volt outlet and a 120-volt plug-in right down here below that. You have your little King Ranch insignia right here. This area here kind of folds back, and when it does, you do get a little area where you can wirelessly charge your device. And of course, you have a USB-C and a regular USB port next to that on the other side, which is pretty cool. Close that up to give you kind of a cleaner look. As you can see here, you're going to have technically 4 cup holders, 2 here and 2 here. As you can see, it does say F-Series established 1948, which is pretty cool. Coming over here to your glove compartment, it is huge, and as you can see, it is quite cavernous. So as you can tell, you have a little storage cubby here, but then look at the amount of room that you have in this one. It's just as big as most Super Duty trucks are. You have a little light inside of it, as well as a USB-C port in there as well, which is pretty cool. Now, the seats in the F-350 Super Duty King Ranch is really nice. As you can tell, they look very comfortable. Initially, I thought this was a pillow, like kind of like a little chest pillow here that you would put down on the seat, like what you would typically do. Let's say, you know, you get a neck pillow and you put one on when you go onto the plane before you go on a long flight. But it's not. It's actually attached to the vehicle, which is pretty cool. And I think this is actually a neck pillow because you can kind of pull it back and see that regular seat back here. So this is an accessory from Ford, and it looks really nice, I have to say. The seating in here, again, very comfortable. Love the feel of it. It has a premium touch, which makes sense. This is a very expensive truck, so you want to make it look comfortable and also feel comfortable at the same time. And overall, it does look pretty good while doing so. Now, come over here to your glove box. It's nothing too crazy. You have a decent amount of storage space in there, and it doesn't look too bad. And then, as you can see, that's a look at the actual King Ranch itself, which is right here in Texas. Pretty cool little quirk, as Doug DeMuro would say. But with that said, as we continue on to the left, you're gonna have controls for your lights here for the mirrors. Almost forgot what they were for a second. Pro Power onboard. Open up the tailgate. Just open up the third quarter window, your headlight and fog light controls, as well as your gauge dimmer switches. But with that being said, this truck here is very luxurious. It looks really nice. It's a dually, so that makes it even more impressive. And so with that said, let's go ahead and check out the rest of this Ford F-350 King Ranch. Coming into the back of the King Ranch, as you can see, you do have the same materials following throughout, which is very nice, as you can see here. Again, the comfort level is just really, really impressive, and it does look really, really good. You have your King Ranch insignia on top of there as well, which is very impressive. Coming over here, you do have your carpeted mats with the King Ranch logo there. All-weather floor liners in here as well. You do have seat pockets on both sides, as you can see there. You're going to have a set of cup holders here. You're gonna have rear vents, 2 USB-C ports, rear heated seat controls here, a 12-volt outlet right here, and a traditional power port or power plug-in right here as well. And then you have a padded armrest with 2 cup holders. This is, of course, your diesel and your DEF fluid. And this right here, if you put your foot on it, it will allow you to step into the bed a little bit easier. Keep in mind, this is a dually setup. As you can see, you have 2 wheels on this side, and you have 2 wheels on the other side. You also have the FX4 Off-road Package. The F-350 King Ranch is going to come with LED taillights in the back. You're going to have your King Ranch Super Duty logo right here in chrome, which is very cool looking. You also have your rear parking sensors, and of course you do have your 5th wheel gooseneck as well as towing prep package here, which in this case here, let's say you want to tow something, you can tow up to 27,000 pounds in this truck, which is completely insane. But it is a Super Duty and it's capable of towing that much weight. So soft opening tailgate. As you can see, you do have a spray and bed liner in this truck, which is very nice. That's pretty much expected in this vehicle. You do have cabin lighting here on this side, as well as on this side too. You're gonna have little plug ports right here to plug in some things. And then your Pro Power onboard is gonna be on the right side here, so you can plug in and power up your tools, which is very cool. Of course, you do have a little ruler right in here as well. And let's say you want to get into the bed a little bit easier. This is their step assist setup here, which is pretty cool. You do have chrome mirrors with your LED turn signals on them, and as you can see, it does say Ford on it. Under the hood of the Ford F-350 King Ranch, we're taking a look at one of two options that the Super Duty does come equipped with. It is the 6.7-liter Power Stroke Diesel V8. This one in particular is the higher output model. It produces 500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque. All right, guys, so back in the Ford F-350 King Ranch, this is a really nice truck, I will say. It gives you a lot of luxurious appointments. This vehicle does have a good amount of features in here. Like I said, this one does have the twin panel moonroof. This one does have the King Ranch specific interior. It does have the chrome package, as you guys saw. Has the high output 6.7-liter Power Stroke diesel V8. And this truck here, although it doesn't have a window sticker, had $19,000 worth of options for right around $100,000 when this truck was brand new just last year. So with that being said, this truck is impressive, but of course you still have the limited and the platinum trim if you want to get something a little bit nicer and a little bit more unique. But with that being said, everyone, that's going to do it here for this walk around and tour of this 2024 Ford F-350 King Ranch dually. Finished off in Darkened Bronze with the Java leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next